begin first by thanking you all for the invitation to come and have a dialogue with the diaspora here today. We are happy to be here back in London after nearly 3 years because of the COVID. Lakini sasa hiyo imepita. Shetani ashindwe. Sana yanashindwa sasa. We are now able to come back to London to come and fellowship with the Kenyans who live out here. This is very refreshing indeed. Very, very interesting, and I'm bringing to you greetings from the people of Kenya. Napokea. Here, we have been having a very good conversation with a friend I just met this afternoon called Natasha. There. She's a wonderful girl. Very bright, very intelligent. And she's only 10 years old. So I was thinking that in another 8 years, she's going to be a voter. And even less, in a very short period of time, she's going to be making demands on the people of Kenya. And at that time, she expects that Kenya is going to be ready for her to receive somebody like her. Because as you remember, about 2013, there were promises made that within 6 months, each and every school is going to have a laptop. Now those children who were promised laptop are now finishing Form 4. And when they now finish Form 4, you are telling them cousin in cousin. Mulbaro. Jehilo wana. Hilo wana kweli. This is I'm saying how actually it is the people like Natasha who actually make me continue going. Nilizuru Kenya pembe zote, kauliza wa Kenya, mzee aendelea siendelee? Aendelea siendelee? Safarini yako. Safarini yako. And that's why I said I will continue, because the people have demanded that I will continue. But now, charity, these people don't have to go back to Kenya to work. We're now living in a digital world. These people can work for Kenya right here. They don't have to be physical in Kenya. But now I'm demanding of them to be more patriotic. When next time the opportunity arises for people to register as voters, let us not have 700 registering out of 50,000 people. That's a challenge. The next time, more people will register here as voters. Because with their vote, you can actually make a difference. And you need to know that it was not easy to give people to our diaspora to vote. First, the dual citizenship was not easy. It was opposed vehemently. And we said, why do you deny Kenyans a right which is being given to other citizens elsewhere? When you were at Bomas of Kenya, you have traveled a long journey to be where we are today. And the diaspora was all the time with us, putting pressure. And we were putting pressure down there until eventually we agreed that Kenyans can have dual citizenship. Okay? Now, we are now at a junction in the country. I recently said that Kenya is ready for a third liberation. And people were saying, what do you mean? Kenya has had two liberations. The first liberation brought a democratic constitution. Both those struggles were not easy. Out there when they were fighting for independence, and it was not easy to get Muzungu to leave the country. Muzungu went. The second liberation actually finished the single party dictatorship, the rule by the thugs. Na pia vijana ambayo wako kule ati wakati ile mbaya Simba alikuwa na meno na makucha, kama ungesema mwe ndani, mwe ndani, sio? It took the determination and courage of Kenyans to force them to agree to change the constitution. So that today in Kenya you can actually insult a president and nothing will happen to you. You see a deputy president talking and insulting the president and nothing happens. It could never have happened under Nyayo. But this basically is a measure of the degree of freedom that we have managed to achieve in our country. Because I know that here in London you can go to Hyde Park and say all sorts of things about the Queen. And another thing will happen to you. So we're saying now the third liberation we are talking about is economic liberation. Because when they were fighting against independence, they were saying, nataka mzungu atoke, tushike hatamu kama watu weusi, tumenyana na maadui wetu watatu makubwa. Three big enemies: ugonjwa, ujinga na umaskini. Ignorance, poverty, and disease. That was the clarion call. Sasa, 58 years since independence, those three major enemies, are they there or not? Some of them are even stronger. So ask yourself, what is it that has happened to us that did not happen to other countries? I give people examples of peers, countries which were at the same socio-economic state of development as Kenya in 1963. South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. Take South Korea. I've been given that example several times. South Korea, in terms of population, GDP, per capita income, literacy levels, levels of agricultural production, all the major economic indicators were at par South Korea and Kenya. 58 years down the road, Korea's economy is nearly 50 times bigger than that of Kenya. You ask yourself, when did the rain begin to beat us? To make them know what they are today. You see, today, when I was minister for roads, I went to Korea to ask for aid to buy equipment for road construction. They gave me a $50 million loan, and we bought graders, tippers, excavators, all those big earth-moving machinery from Korea. I took them to each district's headquarters in Kenya at that time. And they were all manufactured in Korea, all those machinery in Korea. Hyundai is manufactured in Korea. Samsung manufactured in Korea. LG is manufactured in Korea. You are not even manufacturing a needle in Kenya. something must change in our country. If you don't have a paradigm shift, another 50 years will still just be where we are today. So you must change. Why is it that we have not been able to do it? Other countries have been able to do it. Don't continue to compare Kenya with the worst in the world. Although we are an island of peace, in a sea of turmoil. Look at Somalia. Look at South Sudan. Look at Burundi. So, Kenyans don't want to be compared with the worst in the world. Compare Kenya with the best. This is what we want to change. We want to change it so that Kenyans can move and become part of the international community. See? And Kenyans don't want aid. Aid ati tupia mtu mafupa agugune. No. We just want opportunity. We want more trade and investment rather than aid. We don't need any aid. This is where we want to go. And we want to challenge all Kenyans to be able to apply their abilities for the socio-economic development of our country. And how do we do it? First, we do it first by uniting our people. You see, unity of our people is very important. When Kenyans were fighting for independence, they were united. There was nothing like Kikuyu, Mjaluo, Kalenjin, Mkamba, Muluhya, Mijikenda, Turkana, Somalia. They were all Kenyans. They were all Kenyans. This ugly animal called ethnicity reared its ugly head after independence. It is the elite in competition for resources in the country who invented this animal called tribalism. It did not only happen in Kenya, it happened in Nigeria, it happened in Ghana, it happened in Zambia, and so on. It is only in Tanzania where Mwalimu Nyerere, because of a clear vision of what he wanted, actually destroyed it, did not allow it to take root. So Kenyans are an angry people because they're not united. You find a young person qualified, going to attend an interview for a job, and is better qualified than all the people who have been interviewed there. But once he or she mentions the name, the panel there already knows this one is wasting his time, all right time. He doesn't show kabila hiyo. They already know what the kind of person they want. Yet when they are collecting taxes, they don't discriminate. When they go to the community where this community comes from, they just collect taxes. Like they collect everywhere. They pay taxes. I keep on telling Kenyans. Every day they pay taxes. Mother goes to buy chumvi pale, usuru tiyari. Sukari, usuru. Milk, usuru. Coca-Cola, usuru kubwa. Sabuni, sigara. Okay. Ile one for the road. Hiyo si mambo yake, sio? Sasa hiyo wanarobota kila siku, but when it comes to sharing the resources, there's no discrimination. This is what makes people bitter and angry. And this is what we must change. Hence, Azimio la Umoja. That's why we are starting the turning point. we must declaration of unity. First, begin by saying we are all Kenyans, and every Kenyan is equal. All Kenyans are equal. No one is superior to the other. We don't want any discrimination of any form, because that is what it's about. The anthem which you sang when we started, it says that God bless this land of ours. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace, and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders. Yeah. Lord bless this land, God-fearing country and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. Justice cannot be a shield and defender if there's democracy. So a democratic state, nation. May we live in unity, peace and liberty. Unity. People are united. There's no discrimination on the basis of race, tribe, religion, gender, disability, and age. Everybody is equal, no discrimination. And then they say, peace and liberty. A peaceful person. Peace is not just mere absence of war. A hungry person is not a peaceful person. A hungry person is an angry person. Yeah? Peace and liberty. Somebody who is free, but most importantly, plenty be found within our borders. That's a program. A prosperous, developed nation where people don't suffer from want. That is what it says. That is what our national anthem says. That is the Kenyan dream. A country where plenty is found. But that plenty was not going to drop down like manna from heaven. It was going to come as a result of the sweat and toil of the people of Kenya. So Kenyans must be empowered to be able to create that wealth, so that the wealth place is there. And in the Bible, the country where there is plenty is found. It's called what? It's called what? That's the Canaan I've been talking about. That's the Canaan is right in our national anthem. It's the Kenyan dream. A country where plenty is found within the borders, where people don't suffer from want, people don't sleep hungry, everybody has got proper shelter, children have opportunity to go to education, and those who are sick can get medical attention. As people have got, nobody is unemployed, people can get gainful employment. They can work and be able to advance upward social mobility. That is kind of the country that our founding fathers envisioned, which is coined the Kenyan dream. And that's the direction we want to go. Okay? So you say you start. In terms of education, you say each and every child born in our country, irrespective of socio-economic status of the parents, will get equal opportunity for education from nursery through primary, secondary, tertiary, up to university. And after getting that kind of training and qualification, they should be able to get meaningful jobs, meaningful employment, so that they can be able to earn and advance socially. Upward social mobility is what we're talking about. Rapid social mobility, hata kama wewe wazazi wako walikuwa mafukara, wewe unaweza kuwa tajiri. This is what we want. You do not develop a country by trying to deprive the rich in order to pay the poor. You create opportunity for the poor to become rich, so that you become rich. So this is what we want to do. Creating opportunity for our people for upward social mobility. That is the direction we want to go. And creating employment among our people. The youth particularly. We said those ones work with skills after they've been trained. Those who don't want to be employed, who want to be self-employed, start their own businesses, should have access to credit. We say you get a credit from a fund which you're going to create, and you don't pay any interest until after 7 years. That all the youth, women, and men will be able to get that. Because you see, people are just all the time looking for jobs in the public sector. Ati polisi, ngapi, nachukua hii, jeshi, what, ministry of this, ministry of that. I tell people that look, that is how not to do it. Public sector employment is restricted, limited. Right now, in the total Kenyan public sector force employs 700,000 people. All civil servants, all those who are working, the police officers, the military, the county government, and those jobs are not vacant. Most of them are filled. Vacancies only occur when somebody dies or somebody retires. That's just about 10% per annum. So out of 700,000, about 70,000 jobs in public sector are what's available every year. But every year, we push into the labor market close to 1 million people, new entrants. Those who are leaving school at primary, at secondary, at tertiary, at university levels. It's nearly 1 million, chasing 70,000 jobs. So, solution is private sector. You must develop a private sector. A vibrant private sector is what will be able to absorb most of our people who are looking for jobs. And then you look at micro, small, and medium enterprises, what they call the informal sector. Should no longer be called the informal sector because it employs close to 18 million people. We will make it formal, give access to credit, and also market access so they can be able to market whatever they produce. That's micro, small, and medium enterprises. Okay? In the field of agriculture, make agriculture rewarding, smart agriculture, give them inputs, seeds, fertilizers, and tractor services, and then also water. Bring water closer to the people, where there is no need where it rains heavily, there's flooding. Construct dams so that you can be able to harvest rainwater during the period of high season. So that when the drought comes, there will be water available for human consumption and for animal consumption. This we will do. And then you will be able to increase food production in agriculture so that the country becomes self-sufficient in terms of food production. We have sufficient food for our people with surplus for export. And you help these people with access to the markets, proper access to markets, and infrastructure development, roads, water, energy, electricity, available at affordable prices. Right now, energy is so expensive in Kenya. 14 US cents per unit. 14 cents per unit. It is 3 cents in Egypt. How can Kenya compete with Egypt? No wonder manufacturers are relocating to Egypt. We must change all this and make energy affordable in the country. And compete with it. Then now, we talked about health. Healthcare is a problem. And health is a devolved system. We will ensure that we release resources down to the devolved units so that we can improve the healthcare. First, availability and affordability, and is most important. Equality, availability, and affordability. That's the way we will be able to deal with issues like maternal health care and so on, and infant mortality and things like those. We will do that. And I've said the solution is Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care. So everybody will be in a health insurance scheme. So that when they are sick, they are able to access treatment even if they don't have money. That's the comprehensive proposal. Then, the other one, category of people I've talked about, are a special category of people called single mothers. Single mothers. These ones are a special category of our people. Some, the husband died, she's an orphan, she's a widow, and she's got a child or children. The other one, they were married, then because of some problems with the marriages, divorce, amebaki sasa peke yake. Yeye anabaki na watoto, bwana amechukua bibi nyingine. Sivyo? Mwingine alidanganywa na kijana. Mimi nakupenda sana, nitakuoa, lakini sasa tuendelee kufanya kazi. Wakafanya kazi, mtoto umetokea, kijana umetoroka. Na mtoto na watoto. Sasa hao mama wanapata shida mingi. These people really suffer, and the children also suffer seriously in terms of education and so on. So I said these are special categories we shall give them special assistance. You know the social welfare system is here. And it's also there in the United States, there in Brazil, there even in Egypt, even in Namibia, introduced it. So what I'm trying to introduce is not something that is strange. Yet back at home, the tangas are all over the place. Oh, Baba is cheating people. There's no money, hakuna pesa. I'm telling them, when we talked of free primary education with Kibaki, they said we were daydreaming, that it was not affordable. We introduced it in the first year of non-government, and it worked. So I'm saying that we are going to introduce a social protection program, because there are some people who are poor, complete family, and these families have already been categorized. It's not something that I'm inventing. It's really known. We're talking about 2 million families. 2 million families, if you take about 4 to 5 people per family, we're talking in terms of about 10 million people. those families are the ones who said, we will get a cash transfer from the government and we'll give them 6,000 shillings per month. That is a plan that we have put in place to do. So very basically, what we are trying to do is to change our country so that Kenya can be able to move from a third world economy to a middle income economy that we had planned with Kibaki by the year 2030. To bring Vision 2030 back into gear, full gear. And here we say we work together. Finally, the handshake. Some of you were there, some of you were here, and you knew what happened in the elections of 2017. We went to court and provided evidence in the court, and the Supreme Court nullified presidential elections. And then they said that the elections will be repeated within 60 days. We told the Electoral Commission, because you did A, B, C, D, that's why we ended here. You must give us a guarantee that you are not going to repeat A, B, C, D. You're going to change this and that and that. They refused to change. We realized we are going to basically not have a different outcome. Doing the same thing, the same way, expecting a different result is stupid. But then remember that now they did a repeat, we did not participate. Then we said, no, sisi najua ila matokeo ya hili ambayo ilifanyika huko. Fanya hiyo. Mimi Raila walisema kama mbali akapisha. Sasa kama inaoma kama mbaya sisi tulifanya na hiyo wengine wakaniambia mimi sasa tumewachana sasa. Kwa sababu kiapo sasa tuchukue mapicha yote ya Uhuru kila mahali. Turundike mahali kwa wale wa stronghold. Tuyachome. Tuanze kutoa ushuru kwa watu kuendesha mambo yetu. Nikaona hii njia tukienda tunapeleka Kenya Somalia. Sasa kwa pande nyingine wakamwambia Uhuru, arrest him, take him to committee, hang him. Mambo Kwisha. Uhuru ndio akasema hiyo Somalia. So under those circumstances that we agreed to meet, and we discussed at length, and we agreed that Kenya is bigger than both of us. We need to make a compromise and find a way in which we can unite the country, bring us back to where we started at independence. When the country was united, there was no ethnicity. And we agreed, as I told Uhuru, I don't have to be president of Kenya, so long as Kenya can get what they want, Kenyans. And we agreed with Uhuru to work together. We tell you I never asked you for anything. We never asked for anything. I said, Kenya is bigger. Because now, we are where we are. We agreed with Uhuru, we must deal with this head-headed animal called corruption. Corruption is one of the biggest enemies of our people. A lot of money of our country wealth is wasted in corruption. Who estimated that every day 2 billion shillings is lost to corruption. That is close to 700 billion shillings every year. Okay? But we know where some of this money is going to. We know where it is. Somebody is running around with sacks of money. Harambe for the youth group, 5 million shillings. Harambe for women group, 5 million. Bus for school, 10 million. The car for the bishop, 10 million. Every month, this gentleman uses 100 million shillings in Harambe. He contributes. His salary is only 2 million shillings. Alafu naongea juu ya mambo ya ufisadi. People being targeted. So unajua hawa watu? Dawa ni nini? So this, we want to clean the country. But in the country, this is what the new government want to do. And therefore, we want to urge people to be prepared to walk this path with us. Are you ready? Yeah. Because we are ready. Azimio.